As a survivor of the wasteland, there are a variety of weapons to choose from, ranging from a jury-rigged pipe pistol to a pinnacle of modern engineering such as a laser rifle. What if you decided to just stick with the first object you found, such as a trusty tire iron? That's the question I'm asking myself today. Can I beat Fallout 4 with only a tire iron? Like all other challenges, I'll be playing on normal difficulty, and the faction I'm siding with is going to be random. This time around, I'll be siding with the Brotherhood. I make myself look like the average Discord moderator. I'm allowed to say that. I look like a Discord mod. Except I still have all my hair. And now I'm realizing that I'll be old one day and my hair will start thinning and falling out and God. Anyways, I tell the Vault Tech rep to leave me alone, but I'm still forced to make my stats. So I name myself Lead Pipe, since that's what this challenge was originally going to be. I max out my strength, put 9 into my endurance, and put the rest into luck and agility. I perform my paternal duties, this will change, and I get to watch one of the best cutscenes in gaming. There's something so good about watching the nuke go off in the distance and just the impending doom. It's great.
Oh my god!
I get turned into a popsicle, and then I watch my wifesicle get shot. I trap the roaches in the vault so I can avoid fighting them, and I watch the creation engine do its thing.
Vault Tech Maintenance Representative for service.
I exit the vault and get hit with all of the Creation Club quests, and go back to Sanctuary so I can use the Special Book and bump my endurance up to 10. I cross the bridge on my way to Concord and collect the guaranteed spawning tire iron, which will become my closest friend in the wasteland known as modern-day Boston. My condolences to anyone who lives in Boston. I arrive at the Museum of Freedom, where Preston has done a pretty good job taking out the raiders, and even decides to get down and fight them face to face. The raiders in the museum aren't too challenging, given the fact that we're still in the early game, so let's get to the interesting fight, the Deathclaw. I was going into the fight feeling pretty confident. That quickly changed. The second go round, I tried something a bit cheesier. I don't feel good about it, but it's what I had to do. It also seems Bethesda was on my side. With that out of the way, I decided to deal with Wolfgang and Simone to get some extra cap.
Keep him off me!
And trade with Trudy. You purposely have the same name as Trudy from New Vegas? I got a little antsy going down this road because I swore there was a landmine around here. Oh, there it is. Since I was passing by, I decided to help Dance at the police station to start the Brotherhood quest line, but I saved Artjet for later. On my way to Diamond City, I found Art being held at gunpoint by Art, and decided I'd let them figure out their own issues. And they're off! Art starts with a powerful opener, taking down Art and firing a few shots into him, while falling back to take cover. But Art won't be taken out so easily. He lays a suppressive fire on Art and takes his own defensive position. The Arts fire wildly from their cover, and both manage to get some good hits. Oh, but what's this? Art makes a pretty risky move and advances on Art. Let's see if this pays off for him. Ooh, and it looks like Art lost his advantage. Which means that Art is our new reigning champion, and you get to walk home with your own gold-plated Brahmin. Oh, this was such a stupid bit. I arrive in Diamond City and do a little bit of bartering, as well as steal Kellogg's house key for later. Now it's time for me to save Nick, so I head to Park Street Station and start dealing with the pretty weak Triggerman there. Third time's the charm. I get through all the Triggermen and enter Vault 114. Fourth time's the charm. And free Nick. Somehow, my one charisma lets me persuade Darla to leave Skinny, and I head back to Nick's to continue the main story.
All right, let's get down to business.
Who defeat the Huns? We enter Kellogg's house, and I get some dialogue I've never heard before because I didn't interact with Dogme at the Red Rocket. The goodest of boys shows up to track down Kellogg, but that'll have to wait, because I felt like going to ArcJet. The inside ArcJet, Dance is somehow the most useful and the most useless ally imaginable. Instead of turning Dance into a paladin hot pocket, I help him fight the synths in the test chamber. Then we deal with the synths that have the transmitter we need. With that out of the way, I head for Fort Hagen to deal with Kellogg. The synths in the fort were actually pretty tough, and took a few hits to take down, as well as dishing some pretty good hits of their own, due to my non-existent energy resistance. They even killed me a few times while I was in there. Kellogg and his synths, on the other hand, was a cakewalk. I don't know why, but he posed no challenge to my bent, blunt object. I watched the Prydwen arrive with its peaceful intentions, and I returned to Cambridge to take the vertebrate up to the airship. I listened to Maxon's boring speech and trade with the Brotherhood to get all the supplies I can before assaulting Fort Strong. This is what I was most concerned about going into this run. But honestly, it wasn't that bad. Like, yes, the behemoth did kill me, but he only got me once, which surprised me when I was going back to the footage. The mutants on the inside weren't too much of a challenge, except for this one who taught me a valuable lesson on the difference between being bullet resistant and being blast resistant. But after that misadventure, I managed to retake the fort and let the Elder know the good news. I painted my Pip-Boy pink. Now it's time for me to skip the entirety of the Memory Den sequence and only watch the one that talks about my boy. Now it's time for me to head to the Glowing Sea and experience the average Floridian's commute. I deal with a few rad scorpions and the Deathclaw outside of Virgil's cave. Speaking of Virgil, he tells me to get a Courser chip, so I head to Green Tech, slaughter the gunners, and then the Courser, who was a bit of a pain due to his healing and invisibility. But now it's time to get it decoded, so you know what that means.
Next stop, the railroad. Choo-choo!
Who the hell vanished?
You think that's not a bug?
Sheldon up first place.
If you want healing, keep them off me.
I decode the chip, return to Virgil, and I agree to get his fancy protein shake for him. Now it's time for me to make the teleporter, and I don't have the parts for it, so that means I need to go harass hospital staff for it. On my way to the hospital, I meet this good girl and help her with her injuries. At the hospital, I kill the first two nurse bots I see and collect the parts I need for the teleporter. I build the teleporter, and I'm ready to get beamed up, Scotty. Or I guess it would be down. I arrive in the Institute and meet Robo Junior Sean and Meaty Senior Sean, and agree to meet all the Institute division heads. I talk to Dr. Lee, and she wants me to find evidence that Virgil's alive. I quickly talk with the other scientists to get the free XP. Afterwards, I realize that I hit level 16 earlier, which means that I can craft the blade mod for the attire iron and up my damage output, as well as deal some bleed damage with every hit. I put it to use immediately against the Assaultron in the abandoned part of the Institute. I collect Lee's evidence and Virgil's juice, and I return them to their destined recipients. Now it's time to rebuild Democracy Incarnate, but to do so, I need to look like a proper warrior. That's much better. I need to find the parts to rebuild Liberty Prime, so that means I'm raiding a second hospital today. I get the magnet, return to Ingram, and now it's time to get some nukes. The child of Adam there is no issue, and the Assaultron is a minor inconvenience. I set up the transmitter and returned to the airport to perform the BIOS on Liberty Prime. Also, Liberty Prime fits the description of only in death does duty end perfectly. Maxon tasked me with killing Dance, since he turns out to be a synth. That probably explains his behavior earlier. All he needed was a system update. My mother didn't raise me to be a pussy, so I give Dance what he wants.
Ad Victorium, brother.
Back to the railroad, I kill a few more of their agents and deactivate Pam. Now it's time for mass fusion. Luckily, I don't need to use the vertebrate's minigun, since the pilot is kind enough to drop us off even with all the enemies around. And that means I can get to ironing. Ironing, really? The synths on the first level were wet paper against my tire iron. And those on the lower level? They were even weaker. I collect the beryllium agitator and stick it into Liberty Prime's neck hole to start the most badass walking sequence in gaming. Actually, that's pretty debatable. Just like any Brotherhood run, this mission is painfully easy. Prime blows a hole into the surface of Mars, I mean the CAT ruins. I bet he could, though. I enter the Institute, and the usual happens.
Fucking cow!
Offline.
Hello? Shutting down. Seriously. Well, what? Are you sure?
I head up to Father's room to deactivate the lockdown, and to give him a piece of my mind. Or I guess tire iron in this case. I struggled for way too long trying to hack this computer, but I got there in the end. I stick the thing on the thing, leave Robosun to be atomized, and destroy the Institute, ending the game and successfully beating Fallout 4 with only a tire iron. Oh, there's one last thing I forgot. I never fought Swan, so here's the footage of how it went. I'll also play it while I'm talking about the other stuff. In retrospect, I probably should have used the power armor less, or I shouldn't have upgraded the tire iron. That probably could have kept this challenge run more interesting, but there isn't much I can do about it now. Maybe I could do a future run where I just use a default tire iron without any other armor, just to see how it goes. This video also ended up being a lot shorter than I was expecting. I don't know if it's just because I edited out a lot of stuff or whatever it could be. If you enjoyed this video, consider liking and or subscribing if this is the type of content you like. And comment if there's any other challenges I should try. I also wanted to point out again that I fixed the issue that caused my footage to look so pixelated, which means future videos should look much better. Speaking of future videos, I'm currently working on a Skyrim run and another Fallout 4 run. I don't know which I'll finish first, but I'll probably post a short about it to make a community post. But with that out of the way, have yourself a good week, month, year. Have a good one.